What does it really mean to be irresistible? Is human desire really just about the physical, about what you can touch, see, or possess? Or is there something deeper pulling the strings? Something you can't see but can clearly feel? If you pay close attention, you start to notice a curious pattern. People aren't just attracted to what they see. They're attracted to what they perceive. By that strange feeling that someone gives off when they walk into a room, that mix of calm, presence, and magnetism that can't be explained, but everyone recognizes. Because yes, there is an invisible force, a vibration that comes from within you. And when it's aligned, it changes the way the world responds to your presence. That's called spiritual seduction. It's not manipulation, it's not a psychological trick. And, of course, it's not a cheap conquest strategy. Spiritual seduction is something else. It's the ability to become a natural point of attraction for the best things in life. People, opportunities, deep connections, even experiences that seem almost magical. It all starts with your energy, with your presence, with the way your inner being aligns with something much greater than yourself. Here, it's not about chasing, it's about becoming someone who attracts, someone whose presence radiates peace, clarity, and wisdom. And interestingly, when that happens, life starts coming to you on its own. Spiritual seduction doesn't seek to conquer, it seeks to radiate. It's an ancient art, a knowledge that for centuries was passed down from master to disciple, from soul to soul. A simple but powerful principle. When your energy changes, everything around you changes too. Healthier relationships, unexpected opportunities, abundance, and above all, a deep sense of connection with the universe. Think about this for a moment. I'm sure you've met someone like that before, a person who had something impossible to describe. Maybe they weren't the most physically attractive, nor the loudest in the room, but there was something about their presence that immediately caught your attention. A strange calm, a quiet confidence, a magnetism that seemed to come from somewhere else. And then you wonder, what does that person have? The answer is usually simpler than you think. It's not appearance, it's not strategy, it's not calculation, it's frequency. Set an internal vibration that resonates on a much deeper level. That is the true essence of spiritual seduction. In this video, let's explore how to align your body, your mind, and your spirit to become a magnetic presence. Because the energies you emit not only affect the people around you, they also shape the quality of your relationships, your emotional well-being, and your connection with the divine. Throughout this journey, you will discover simple practices, yet surprisingly powerful tools. You will feel that they help you raise your vibration, transform your environment, and attract what you truly desire: harmony, peace, growth, to align. We are going to talk about meditations that raise your frequency, about the underestimated practice of gratitude, which we hope will accompany you in this. It's about the real impact of conscious breathing, and how mantras and affirmations can help you reprogram your energy from within. You'll also learn something fundamental: how to recognize people who vibrate at the same frequency as you, how to use your conscious presence as a form of natural attraction, and how to turn your life into a true energy field that starts attracting the best the universe has to offer. So get ready, because here we're not going to talk about superficial tricks or cheap seduction techniques. This is about something much deeper: raising your energy, reconnecting with your soul, and becoming a presence that lights up everything you touch. True spiritual seduction isn't about conquering, it's about embodying the divine here on earth. And even though it may seem new today, in reality it's quite the opposite. Spiritual seduction is an ancient practice. It appears in many mystical and spiritual traditions throughout history, from philosophers to yogis, including mystics from different cultures. They understood something we're only now beginning to rediscover. The most powerful attraction doesn't come from the body, it comes from energetic alignment. In ancient times, it was called spirit. In ancient Greece, for example, philosophers spoke of universal harmony, an invisible force that connects absolutely everything. Today, we might call it energy, vibration, or field. For them, this harmony was the basis of all attraction. Plato introduces a fascinating idea in his dialogues. He talks about eros, but not just as physical desire. Eros was something much greater. Spiritual seduction, a spiritual practice, is what pushes the human being toward the divine. A kind of inner drive that moves us to seek beauty, truth, and connection with something eternal. From that perspective, eros is not simply sexual desire. It is a form of spiritual seduction, a deep attraction to wisdom, peace, and transcendental love. And if we travel eastward, the concept becomes even clearer. In Hindu Tantra, for example, sexual energy is not seen as something that should be repressed. It is understood as a manifestation of the Kundalini, a latent spiritual energy that resides at the base of the spine. According to this tradition, true spiritual seduction consists of raising that energy, making it ascend through the chakras until it expands consciousness. On that path, sexuality and spirituality are not enemies. They are two expressions of the same vital force. When they are properly integrated, the result is a transcendental union, an experience that goes far beyond physical attraction. Because it's no longer just about the body, it's about expanding consciousness. Something similar also appears in Christian mysticism. Figures like Saint Teresa of Avila spoke of the so-called mystical marriage, a deep union between the soul and the divine. Interestingly, many of her texts describe this experience with language that borders on what we would now call spiritual seduction. The relationship with God is not presented as an obligation. It is described as a loving, gentle, magnetic call, an intimate invitation that draws the soul toward the eternal. Here, it's not about carnal desire either. It's about a connection with the divine essence that awakens an absolute love in the human being. Throughout history, these views on spiritual seduction have not disappeared. On the contrary, they have evolved, become enriched, and have continued to appear again and again in different traditions. Within Western esotericism, thinkers and scientists like Eliphas Levi or Madame Blavatsky had a very clear view of all this. For them, so-called spiritual seduction was not a trick, nor a social skill you could practice in front of the mirror. It was a process of internal purification. From their perspective, accessing hidden knowledge, divine truth, or a real connection with the cosmos required something beforehand. Raising your vibration. You have to develop an inner magnetism capable of attracting the energies of the universe toward you. And here's where it gets interesting. It was not achieved with external techniques, calculated gestures, or strategies to impress anyone. It comes from within through cleansing the soul, spiritual discipline, and elevating consciousness. That's why, in this context, spiritual seduction has nothing to do with impressing others. It has to do with becoming a channel of light, a channel of clear energy, a presence capable of attracting the divine simply by the presence, by the frequency it emits. It's an internal deep process, an energetic transformation that aligns you with much higher frequencies. Interestingly, many of the ideas that circulate today in the world of personal development, especially what is known as the law of attraction, have very ancient roots in these principles. Although today it's explained with quick Instagram quotes, the original idea was much more serious. According to this principle, what appears in your life doesn't depend only on what you say or even just on what you think. It depends on the vibration you emit. If your energy is aligned with peace, love, and clarity, that's what you start to attract. If, on the other hand, your frequency is dominated by fear, lack, or despair, the universe usually responds with more of the same. Not as a punishment, simply by resonance, and that's where the heart of spiritual seduction lies. When you raise your own frequency, you start attracting experiences that match that level of vibration. To truly understand this process, you have to accept something important. Spiritual seduction is not based on physical appearance, nor on mental manipulation. It is based on energetic connection, on a deep harmony with the forces that structure the universe. This type of seduction doesn't happen outwardly, it happens inwardly first. Its power lies in how your energy resonates with higher frequencies. The so-called spiritual magnetism is nothing more than a reflection of your own inner state, of your ability to vibrate in harmony with the divine. The first key to understanding all of this is simple. The energy you project is always tied to the frequency you emit. You can't separate them. And even though it's not visible to the naked eye, that vibration is just as real as any other form of energy studied in physics. Every human being functions as an energy field, a field that radiates certain frequencies depending on their emotional, mental, and spiritual state. If your inner life is full of peace, love, and gratitude, that will be the signal you send out to the world. And the world usually responds in the same language. But if your dominant state is fear, frustration, or a constant sense of lack, the experiences that show up will tend to reflect that same pattern. It works very similarly to the principle of resonance in physics. When two systems vibrate at the same frequency, they attract each other. That's why, when your frequency rises, something curious happens. You stop chasing what you desire, and you start to notice that certain things begin to appear on their own. Healthier people, unexpected opportunities, personal growth, and a much deeper sense of connection. In this sense, daily spiritual work, meditation, introspection, and inner discipline stop being just a personal practice. It becomes a form of energetic seduction. The more aligned you are with your higher self, the more the energies that drive your evolution begin to approach you. That is the true core of spiritual seduction, becoming a magnet for peace.
De luz, de amor.
Through the vibration you emit. Now, for that vibration to be strong and coherent, there's an element that many people overlook, the body. Because the body is the channel through which all that energy flows. In many spiritual traditions, the body was never considered just a simple material vehicle. It was seen as a temple, a sacred space that had to be maintained and kept in balance. Your body is where your thoughts live, where your emotions are processed, and where your energy is manifested. When body, mind, and spirit are aligned, your presence changes. You become a naturally magnetic force. That's why seemingly simple practices like self-care, mindful eating, exercise, or meditation not only impact your physical health, they also stabilize your energy. And when your energy stabilizes, your spiritual magnetism grows stronger. Keeping your body clean, active, and balanced allows energy to flow without blockages. And when that happens, you become much more receptive to the vibrations of the universe. But there's another interesting aspect. The relationship between the body and spiritual seduction also influences how others perceive you. A person who takes care of their health, who maintains a firm posture, who breathes deeply, and who moves calmly, projects something very specific: confidence. And confidence can't be forced. Confidence radiates. That natural radiance, which comes from a balanced body and a centered mind, has an immediate impact on those around you. No need for words, no need for effort. Now, if there is one tool that directly connects the body, the mind, and the energy, it is the breath. Conscious breathing is one of the most powerful elements within spiritual seduction. Because when you breathe, you not only oxygenate your body, you also align your energy. When you breathe deeply, something changes. Your mind calms down, your attention returns to the present, and your vibration begins to rise. Conscious breathing has an immediate effect. It calms the mind, opens the heart, and allows energy to flow freely again. In addition, deep and controlled breathing strengthens the connection with your higher self. When you are calm, when you are present, your energy reorganizes itself. And in that state, it's much easier to tune into higher frequencies. That's why many spiritual traditions consider the breath as a bridge between the material and the spiritual. It's not just a technique to reduce stress, it's a tool to open channels of communication with the universe. The more aware you become of your breathing, the more you start to notice something curious. Your body is no longer on autopilot. You start to feel it, to perceive how your energy moves. You start to realize what you're transmitting even without speaking. And when that happens, your presence changes. You become more magnetic without even trying. Another key element within spiritual seduction is gratitude. And even though it sounds simple, almost too simple, it has a powerful effect on your vibration. Gratitude changes the point from which you experience life. When you are grateful for what is already in your reality, you are acknowledging something important. Abundance already exists in your present reality. And that simple mental shift starts a very powerful cycle. You give thanks. Your energy rises, and that new frequency starts to attract more experiences that match it. It's a virtuous circle. Gratitude generates positive energy, and that energy is reflected in everything around you, but it's not limited to attracting material things. It also opens doors to something much more valuable, deeper relationships, more meaningful experiences, and a much clearer connection with the universe. Those who live in gratitude gradually become a magnet for blessings, not by magic, but because their frequency begins to align with the vibration of abundance. So far, we have seen something fundamental: how your inner energy, along with the alignment between body, mind, and spirit, recreates the magnetism that makes a person spiritual. Now we're going to take it a step further. We are going to explore concrete techniques that can transform your vibration and help you attract what you truly desire: higher relationships, abundance, personal growth. First technique: mantras and affirmations. Program your energy. Words have power, much more than we usually admit. On the physical level, we use them to communicate, but on the energetic level, words are frequencies. Each sound, each phrase, each repetition generates a vibration that influences both your internal state and the environment. That's why mantras and affirmations have been used for thousands of years as tools to raise energy. When you repeat certain sounds or phrases, your system begins to synchronize the frequency you are invoking, and little by little your vibration adjusts to it. A classic example is the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. It's not just a nice combination of syllables. Each sound contains a specific energetic charge that resonates in different parts of the body and mind. By repeating it, whether out loud or in silence, you come into resonance with an amazing vibration associated with love, compassion, and inner clarity. Your energy system begins to tune into that frequency, and that tuning changes your internal state. Affirmations work in a similar way, but they act directly on the assumption. The vibration adjusts. If you repeat phrases like, "I am a channel of light and love," or "My energy attracts everything that is aligned with my vibration," you're not just saying nice words, you're sending instructions. Your subconscious mind starts to accept those ideas as new internal references, and over time, your energy starts to behave according to them. Constant repetition creates a resonance, and that resonance starts to attract people, situations, and opportunities that vibrate at the same frequency. Second technique, intuition. Listen to the inner voice. One of the most powerful and most overlooked aspects of spiritual seduction is intuition. That inner voice that suddenly appears and tells you, "Go this way," or "better not." The problem is that we live surrounded by noise, opinions, distractions, screens, advice from people who also have no idea what they're doing, but they still give their opinion. All that noise disconnects us from our inner compass. But when you learn to calm your mind, something interesting happens. Intuition starts speaking again, and when it does, it's usually surprisingly clear. Intuition is the navigation system that keeps you aligned with the natural flow of the universe. It's that subtle feeling that guides you towards certain people, that pushes you to take specific paths, or that warns you when something just doesn't vibe with you. When you start listening to that inner guidance, your energy flows with less resistance and your vibration becomes more coherent. To strengthen your intuition, there's a simple practice, although it's not always easy. Silence daily meditation. Moments when you turn off the external noise and allow the inner whisper to appear. Over time, you start to distinguish something important, the difference between the voice of the ego and the voice of the heart. And when you learn to recognize that difference, your decisions improve. And the funny thing is that what you attract into your life also improves. Third technique, conscious presence. Become a channel of pure energy. When you are fully present, your energy intensifies. You're not thinking about the past. You're not worried about the future. You are here. And that simple state creates a very particular presence, a presence that people immediately notice. Truly magnetic people are not the ones who try to impress. They are the ones who are simply centered, aligned, and have no need to prove anything. Conscious presence is not just about observing what happens around you. It's about being completely in tune with who you are in that moment. When you practice real listening, when you maintain genuine eye contact, and when you respond with compassion, something changes in the interaction. Your energy starts to touch something deep in others, effortlessly, without manipulation, without games. Their presence works like a magnet. People feel comfortable around you because they sense something real, rare these days. They're not being judged, they're not being analyzed. They're simply being seen and accepted. And that, interestingly, is incredibly attractive. However, before I reveal the fourth technique, I know there are moments when you feel like you could be more, do more, vibrate higher, but life keeps you busy, scattered, exhausted. That feeling of wanting to learn, grow, awaken, but without time or space. That's why Audible is perfect. 30 days of free audiobooks that connect with your mind and your heart. They teach you and transform you while you walk, travel, or simply breathe for a few minutes. Click the link in the description and start filling your life with what truly lifts you up. This is your moment to embrace the evolution you've been waiting for. No excuses, no friction, just you and your growth. Fourth technique, connection with the chakras, balancing your inner energy. The chakras are energy centers located along the spine. Each one regulates different aspects of your life. from material stability to love, creativity, or personal expression. For spiritual seduction to work, your energy system must be balanced. When the chakras are aligned, energy flows without blockages. And when energy flows freely, your presence becomes much more powerful. The first chakra is the Muladhara, also known as the root chakra. It is related to stability, security, and connection to the earth. When this chakra is balanced, you convey something very specific: solidity, stability, a sense of a solid foundation. And that stability creates something that many people unconsciously look for in others: trust. The heart chakra, known as Anahata, is the center where compassion and unconditional love reside. When this center is open, something changes in your energy. Your presence becomes warm, your energy becomes radiant, and you start to attract exactly what you emit: love, empathy, real connection. One of the most effective ways to activate this center is through meditations focused on the chakras. For example, visualizing intense colors associated with each energy center, or directing your breath toward those areas of the body. These practices help clear blockages, reactivate the flow of energy, and keep the energy system functioning smoothly. When that happens, your energy not only flows better, it also vibrates at a higher frequency. And that inner balance is the foundation for your spiritual seduction, to be authentic, natural, and deeply magnetic. Now then, there's another practice that multiplies this whole process. The fifth key, the art of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it's a very high frequency. When you consciously give thanks for what is already in your life, you are sending a clear signal. You are open to receiving more. Gratitude works like an energetic magnet. The more you practice it, the more positive things start to appear in your reality. Spend a few minutes each day acknowledging what you already have: your health, the people around you, the opportunities that have come your way. Because something curious happens here. The more grateful you become, the more reasons appear to keep being thankful. It creates an upward spiral. Gratitude elevates your energy. Your energy attracts new experiences, and those experiences further reinforce your gratitude. In that process, your vibration changes. You become a clearer energetic channel, more open, more aligned with frequencies of abundance. Now, spiritual magnetism is not something that only works within rituals or mystical practices. You don't need to be sitting in a cave in the Himalayas to apply it. Its true power appears in everyday life. The principles we've explored, vibration, presence, intuition, gratitude, aren't just useful for attracting what you want. They're useful for living. You can live with more clarity, more awareness, more authenticity. And when you start living like this, your reality inevitably changes. Here are some practical ways to integrate this spiritual magnetism into your daily life. First, practice total presence. Presence is the core of all spiritual seduction. When you are truly present, it is felt immediately. You not only connect with yourself, you also project a calm and solid energy that others instantly feel. Next time you talk to someone, try something simple. Turn off distractions. Look the person in the eye. Really listen. Not to respond, but to understand. Be aware of your posture, your breathing, your internal state. Mindfulness creates a real energetic connection. And the funny thing is, you don't need to talk too much or try to impress. Sometimes it's enough just to be fully present to leave an impression that others remember. Second, cultivate your inner energy through meditation. If you want to develop a magnetic presence, you need to work on your energy from within. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools to achieve this. When you meditate, Your mind begins to free itself from constant noise, worries, tension, and repetitive thoughts. But the most important thing is something else. You start to reconnect with your essence. Even a few minutes a day can bring about huge changes over time. Your energy becomes clearer. Your vibration becomes more refined. There are many ways to meditate. You can focus on your breathing. Visualize a bright light in your heart. Repeat mantras that elevate your inner state. The technique doesn't matter too much. What's important is that by doing it, you gradually become a channel of calm and clarity. And that energy is deeply attractive. However, you've watched more than half of the video, and that's already an achievement. Not everyone has the patience, curiosity, or courage to look inside and connect with their true energy. Now I want you to comment, "My light is my magnet." Do it with intention, as if every word were a spark that ignites your own magnetism. This gesture, as small as it may seem, is a symbol. You are embracing your power, your authenticity, and you are ready to attract everything that resonates with your soul. Yes, it's patience, curiosity, or looking to the future. Pride in being here and opening yourself to this awakening. Third, guide your life towards service and compassion. Here's a secret that many people overlook. The strongest spiritual magnetism doesn't come from the ego, it comes from service. When you act with the intention to contribute to the well-being of others, your social energy, patience, curiosity, or looking toward the future. Situation, ask yourself something different. What can I offer here? Sometimes something simple is enough. A smile, sincere listening, a small gesture of kindness. Compassion is one of the most attractive vibrations that exist because it conveys abundance, not need. When you give without expecting anything in return, something curious happens. Life usually responds in the same way. In spiritual seduction, it's not manipulation. It's simply a generous nature that radiates light. Fourth, raise your frequency with daily gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful energy magnets that exist. When you live from that state, you not only attract more opportunities, you also align yourself with the energy of universal abundance. Make gratitude a habit. Every morning, before you start your day, take a few minutes to acknowledge what is already working in your life. Your health, the people around you, your ability to learn, grow, and reinvent yourself. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice something surprising. The reasons to be grateful start to multiply. This cycle not only improves your emotional state, it also raises your vibration. And when your vibration changes, reality starts to reorganize itself around you. Being grateful is not just a thought, it's an energetic opening to what life wants to give you. Fifth, connect with nature. Nature is one of the most powerful sources of spiritual energy. When you feel overwhelmed, confused, or disconnected, go outside, walk among the trees, or breathe fresh air. Look at the sky, the mountains, the forests, the sea. All these spaces work as huge energy fields that help recalibrate your internal system. Nature reminds you of something essential, that you are not separate from the universe. You are part of it. Walking barefoot on the grass, breathing clean air, or simply sitting for a few minutes under a tree may seem like a small thing, but it has a profound effect. Your energy recalibrates, the mind quiets down, the body relaxes, and little by little you start to tune in to the natural rhythm of life. When you come into contact with nature, you connect with the primordial energy of creation, and that connection has a direct effect. Your magnetism becomes stronger. You start to draw out the best in yourself and also attract the best from the world around you. Sixth principle, maintain emotional and mental balance. Your emotional state defines a large part of your vibration. Emotions like anger, resentment, or fear have a clear effect. They scatter your energy and lower your frequency. That's why self-knowledge is key. You need to observe what is happening inside you. When intense emotions arise, and they will because you're human, pause for a moment, breathe, observe them without rejecting them, but also without letting yourself be carried away by them. Emotional balance doesn't mean not feeling anything. It means not getting lost in what you feel. Mental balance works in a similar way. Repetitive thoughts, constant worries, and negative narratives consume energy. On the other hand, when you cultivate thoughts of peace, gratitude, and clarity, your internal system reorganizes itself. As you become more aware of your mind and your emotions, something interesting happens. You start to consciously direct your energy toward what uplifts you, toward what expands you. And naturally, you stop attracting what isn't aligned with you. Throughout this video, we've explored something that many people overlook: spiritual seduction, a way to attract what is good, true, and elevated into your life. Not through tricks or manipulation, but through the vibration your energy emits. Spiritual seduction is a profound art. And the key isn't so much in what you do, but in who you are. Your energy aligns with love, peace, and wisdom. Your presence changes. You become a beacon, a natural point of attraction for everything that vibrates at that same frequency. Spiritual magnetism doesn't come from the desire to control others. It comes from something much more authentic, from the ability to connect with the deepest part of your being. From opening yourself to universal energies, from resonating with higher frequencies. This kind of attraction doesn't depend on appearance or strategies. It depends on something much more powerful: your authenticity. The more aligned you are with your inner truth, the more naturally you begin to attract what you need to evolve. That's why the path of spiritual seduction is actually the path of self-knowledge, and also the path of transformation. Every practice we've explored, meditation, working with the chakras, gratitude, and conscious presence, has the same goal: to look inward, remove layers, let go of masks, and reconnect with the essence that already exists within you. Spiritual seduction doesn't seek to conquer others. It seeks something deeper, to recognize your own nature and allow that light to be expressed in the world. The energy you project always reflects the frequency at which you are living. If your energy is balanced and clear, you will attract people and situations that reflect that harmony. But if your energy is blocked or disordered, life will tend to show you experiences that vibrate at that same frequency. That is the true principle behind the so-called law of attraction. You don't attract what you say you want, you attract what you are. That's why the most important work happens within you. When your vibration changes, the best things in life naturally start to come closer. In the end, spiritual seduction is not a technique, it's a way of living. It's not about seeking approval or building an attractive image for others. It's about becoming the authentic expression of what the universe wants to manifest through you. When your vibration rises, you no longer need to chase what you desire. What is aligned with your frequency simply finds its way to you. Whoever becomes a magnet for peace, love, and wisdom doesn't need to strive to attract what they need. Life brings it at the right moment. Now the question is for you, how can you start today to align your energy with the best version of your life? Are you willing to raise your vibration? To become a presence that not only attracts others, but also connects with the divine that already lives within you? Because when your energy becomes clear, when your authenticity is expressed without fear, the universe responds, and it does so with surprising, abundance. True attraction is born from something very simple, the purity of your soul.